YouTube is kicking off a new feature that may spark a lot of conversation in your house. They're actually testing a new age verification system in the U.S. with a new AI-powered system.
The technology estimates the age of the viewer based on their watching habits, not just their birthdays. Fox News' Brandon Hudson joins us with more. And this is smart, Brandon, because we know kids put down different ages.
Yeah, and we know a lot of kids look at a lot of things on YouTube. Google may start asking to see your ID to use YouTube. Yeah, it's the same method that gets you into bars and clubs that allows you to vote. Well, it may now be the gateway to watching all those funny animal videos you love. The idea is to shield kids from that dangerous content, but experts say there's a whole new danger that's associated with this. Remember when the tea app was the flavor of the month? A platform for single women to spill the tea about men they've dated? It was all good until it wasn't. The app was hacked, exposing users' valuable information and photos all over the dark web. That's one of the concerns following Google's announcement that it's considering YouTube users provide ID verification. John Patterson, social media expert from That Random Agency, says the idea isn't a surprise.
I think it's an interesting and beneficial for Google and YouTube way to solve a problem that I think we've all known existed on the platform, which is, underage users have access to a lot of content that they maybe shouldn't.
Google says the policy would fall in line with online safety laws designed to protect children. Statista reports YouTube has more than 250 million users in America. Only 1 in 10 of them are under 18. We asked people and parents in Troy if they agree with this potential policy.
I think maybe the intention might be well placed, but I think it might be a little bit too intrusive on privacy.
I think it's a good idea if there's protections there to make sure that their IDs aren't just going everywhere. But I think it's too easy, even with the parental controls, for the kids to view content that they shouldn't.
On the surface, it's in the name of protecting minors, protecting youth, which is absolutely a good thing. But that has to be balanced against invasions of privacy and personal information. That's what this does as well.
Cybersecurity expert David Dergiotis says that if users have any reservations about their information being tracked, he suggests they use an independent login to access services.
So anytime you're signed into a third-party service with your Google account, that information is being tracked. Anytime you're using your Google device, your Android device, using Gmail, any of those things, that information is collected, cataloged, and then is shared back with Google.
Now, I asked Dergiotis if there's other platforms like Instagram, TikTok, X, if they may consider this strategy. He says it is possible. And speaking from experience, I know that Instagram does require you to show your ID to access your account if you cannot remember your password. That's happened to me twice before, and it is not an easy thing to do.
You know what I took from this? There's basically no privacy whatsoever.
There is no.
You are just an open book if you're on there.
Look, you love using these platforms. They bring you a lot of joy. They inform you in ways that maybe not the smartest way, but they inform you, entertain you, but they're asking for your information in return. And a lot of times we kind of gloss over.
All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High. Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, which is to say in the Paleo Hebrew, Yahweh, which is the name of our Heavenly Father, meaning He is, and that is who the world ignorantly calls God. Bahashem, meaning in the name, Yahweh Shai, meaning He is our salvation, and that is who the world also ignorantly calls Jesus a so-called black man, who, by the way, only came for the Israelites, all right? Which brings us to our discussion/topic this afternoon, all right? Because they already are putting in the efforts to what? Take down informative information, real informative, as pertaining to our salvation. Okay, because I put up a video and I used a very exact clip from a news station, and they gave me a restriction based on age restriction. And I went to that news site, the channel that I got the video from, and it's still up and running with no restriction on the video or age restriction whatsoever. So I typed in the Google engine, how come news sites can show fights on YouTube and we show the same thing and get restriction? Okay? And it told me there are a couple of key reasons why news outlets might be able to show content on YouTube that an individual might be restricted from showing. Fair use and public interest. The legal concept of fair use allows the use of copyright material without permission for certain purposes. But I thought we had the freedom of speech, okay? Because this incident that took place, this fight, it was at a public outing, okay? That's this information you can request to get from the FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, okay? So what happened to the freedom of press? It only applies to you if you are one of these big time corporations, all right? Showing you that what? These corporations, these news outlets, they're backed by this beast system, okay? Here it is, you put the very exact same content material that they use onto your channel to give your insight on it using the scriptures, and they hit you with an age restriction. And I'm going to show you, okay? I'm going to show you, which is why they're now trying to make it more difficult for you to post information and get it out to disseminate to the, individuals of our people, okay? Because now they could just hit your content with age restriction. Age restriction. But yet you got the same content that this news channel got, that since they're not bringing out the truth to tie everything all together, they're not deemed as a threat. So we don't need any restrictions on that. All right? We don't need to verify to check to see if you're under the age of 18 to watch this video. But your content, the independent journalist content, oh yeah, you got to have that ID. We got to verify your ID to see this content. That's all BS, man. All right? That's all BS, because why? This truth is hurting them, man. All right? It's exposing them. Okay? Before this truth, they could care less about AI doing a thorough background check to see whether or not you're over the age of 18, or if you got an ID to log into your account. And they're going to use that blockchain technology, man. All right? Because guess what? With blockchain technology, you can track to see every transaction. So that's essentially going to be the reassurance that the people need to what? Take this chip, this microchip, this RFID microchip, that what? We have all transactions that's going to be taking place, and we can monitor them all. All right? Because there is no more privacy, as the lady said. This is now, we are in the era of surveillance, okay? Privacy is no longer, I can't even say step out your house anymore, because now they monitoring you through your phones, man. So there's no more privacy if you haven't realized that by now, all right? We are in the age of surveillance, okay? And this microchip is just going to be the cherry on top, all right? That we're no longer hiding it no more, all right? So they got me with an age restriction on the same material that they let slip through one of these corporation news stations, okay? It says the legal concept of fair use allows the use of copyrighted material, which this is eminent domain. Anyone can get this, okay? It isn't like it's some private, entity that I snuck in and took without their information. The footage that this news station got is available to anyone, okay? It's just that I took a clip from this news station, which I didn't even get a copyright for. I got hit with an age restriction. Showing you that they know what's up, man. All right, they're going to use this AI to their benefit, man. To cast the net on this truth, to suppress it from off the internet altogether, man. I just got hit with it. And then I tried to appeal it, and they rejected it. I just wanted to see what it was going to do. And true to nature, they rejected it. Okay? And I'm going to show you right after this. It says, allows the use of copyrighted material without permission for certain purposes, including news, reporting, commentary, criticism, teaching, scholarship, and research. News reporting is considered to serve the public interest, and YouTube may make exceptions. Yeah, because YouTube is making exceptions because why? That's them, okay? They all are interwoven into one fabric of society, man. All right? Ran by these oligarchies, okay? These bigwigs, these lobbyists, okay? Make no mistake about it. YouTube is a multi-billionaire, a billion-dollar company, man. All right? They got, along with Google, along with Facebook, all of them are on the same accord, man, to suppress this truth. All right? And this is one of the restrictions or instruments or tools they're using, man. It says, news reporting is considered to serve the public interest. Yeah, right. And YouTube may make exceptions. Yeah. Make exceptions for content. See? That's the whole reason why these corporations came over to these platforms, because initially YouTube was supposed to be a platform for the small guy, the little man, the ones that don't have a voice. But now look at it. Now these corporations that came over and took over, and now they done moved the little men out the way, man. Just like the mark of the beast, when it comes, it's going to move you mom and pop stores out the way. And only the corporations are going to be left standing, man. The same with this YouTube, this truth. The Lord is using this man to what? Remove this truth from off the earth, out of the internet. All right? And we're seeing it, okay? We're seeing it. You're going to have to verify your age, man. Because certain material, you can have the same material, but YouTube is the deciding factor who sees what. All right? Even though it's the same material, they now can use discrepancy. Yeah, this is 18, this is not 18. It says YouTube may make exceptions. So now it's up to YouTube to make exceptions. Okay? This is what it's always been about. All right? Controlling the narrative. They want to control the narrative. All right? So you put up the same material, but you start talking that truth, that word, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Now we got to use age restriction. Okay? It's just that simple, man. All right? It's just that simple. News reporting is considered to serve the public interest, and YouTube may make exceptions for content that could be seen as violent or graphic if it provides enough context and is presented in a way that is not intended to shock or disgust viewers. Well, guess what? I use the same content. I didn't shock or disgust viewers. I just brought out the truth. You know? And Esau was offended by it. Galatians, 4:16? Have I become your friend because I tell you the truth? Hey, man. Slaki, have I become your enemy since I told you the truth? Roughly paraphrasing, but Lord will, we'll get that. All right? We becoming enemies of the state. All right? Because this truth is exposing them, man. Now they got to use excuses, age restriction, AI verification, IDs. Soon we're going to have IDs and use our IDs to log in. All right? So they are tightening the net on this internet thing, man. And eventually they're going to have martial law out there on the streets in these neighborhoods and it ain't gonna be safe to be out there preaching. And then the famine of the word is gonna be here. All right. It says where we at? It says news organizations are also presumed to have a professional motive in serving the public interest and adhere to a code of ethics. So why the hell did you come to the small man's platform? Why you didn't just stay on your mainstream NBC, ABC? Why you had to come try to infiltrate YouTube and other social media platforms alike? Because you know this truth is getting to you, man. All right. You didn't see us on your news stations, but see, hey, the internet was made just for this truth, man. All right. Because before the internet, what do we have? Nothing. We just had to go by what they were saying and preach it on TV. But the Lord gave us this internet, and now this damn devil, hey, he's coming down with great wrath. He's tightening the net, the World Wide Web, on what's going to be allowed to be shown and what isn't going to be allowed to be shown. And this truth on the World Wide Web, the internet, isn't going to be allowed to be shown. They're going to hit you with restrictions. Okay? Because it's up to their discrepancy. All right? And then on top of that, they're going to require verification. Okay? And we understand, man, this truth has ran its course. The internet was just designed for this truth to go out through the four corners of the earth. The internet was never made to last forever, man. It was made to open up and give the elect the opportunity to hear the truth and wake up right before the destruction comes. So guess what? Esau, Edom, crack, That's probably what really ticked them off, because I put that what did I put? YEC or YCE, young crack Edomites. That's probably what really ticked them off, man. All right. See, it's okay when we say YNs, but if we say YCEs, young crack Edomites, oh man, that's an age restriction. And it's all good, man, because whoever was meant to see it saw it, man. All right. News organizations are also presumed to have a professional motive in serving the public interest and adhere to code of ethics, which may allow for a different standard than content uploaded by a private citizen. Right, but you came to that private citizen platform and took over. All right. Just like we know you're going to take over when this microchip is made mandatory, these small pop and mom stores. Okay. So it goes on to give you another reason and more BS, man. All right. The truth of the matter is, this truth is tearing them apart, man. Now let's go to the notification. As you can see, the bottom one, age restriction set. YCE, young crack Edomites, get into it. House divided cannot stand. See? And that's all I was using the clip for. All right. I set the stage, told you what it was about, played the clip, went into the precepts, brought it out, and they hit it with an age restriction. The same clip that I use is being broadcast on multiple news outlets, and none of them have age restrictions on it, and it's showing the very exact same thing. All right. And then I went to the appeal just today. This happened 16 minutes ago. Okay, not 16 minutes ago, but earlier today. I screenshot this. It says appeal rejected. They used to allow you to type in while you're making an appeal. This, I couldn't even type in anything. I just had to hit appeal, and it was left up to their expectations, their discrepancy. Usually you can write while you appealing, but now the AI ain't even taking that anymore. It's just, hey, we gonna quote unquote look at the material, and then we're gonna get back with you. And they got back with it, and it was rejected. All right, but this is all the more proof that, hey, this word is getting ready to be wrapped up, man. Okay, it's getting ready to be wrapped up. So let's get a few precepts. This is Galatians 4:16. It reads, "Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth?" And the answer is yes, man. We are looked at, and we will be looked at as the enemy of this society. Because why? We're preaching the truth, man. And it's not a popular thing according to this world. All right. That's why it says enmity. It says, what does it say? Friendship with this world is enmity against the Most High, man. Okay. We can't serve two masters. Okay. Either we serve the one and hate the other, or we love the one and despise the other. Roughly paraphrasing, thou cannot serve both Mammoth and the Most High. You see? So we got the memo, okay? AI is going to be ramping up, screening more videos and looking to hit more restrictions to what? Hinder the truth, to suppress it from going out, okay? So I was allowed to get a couple of days before they hit it. You know, now they may start amping it up and boom, hitting it right on the spot, man. Okay? So get this truth while you can, man, because this man, hey, he's making moves, man. All right, he's gonna make it more difficult for you to access this internet, okay? Until eventually you gotta have the RFID microchip in order to access any of his devices, okay? In order for you to use any of his resources, you're gonna have that RFID microchip. So you better get everything while you can before it's too late, man, okay? This is Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteousness decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. Right, this whole AI age verification thing, they showing you they could care less about age restrictions, man. They'll allow someone that under the age of 18 to go watch a wrestling match. How we know that ain't real? Blood, sometimes they get hit with blood coming out, but see, under that, they can use it because why? It's entertainment. But wait, I just thought you said they don't want you to be using fights for sensationalism. So how we know that fight that they had that was showed on my clip real? How we know that ain't staged? Where's the proof of verification that that's a real fight? See? It's bigger than age restriction, man. It's control. How we know what I showed wasn't staged? How we know that wasn't WWE? See? It's all about control, man. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteousness decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed, right? Because why? It's all the will of the Heavenly Father, man, to wrap things up. This devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath, okay? He's getting ready to persecute the righteous, okay? He's getting ready to persecute Yasharallah, all right? And 2/3 of our people are going to fall by the sword, man. And you've been warned. Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, you heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. Why? For the devil is come down unto you. Am I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? Yes, this devil, hey, he's fed up. He's teed off, man. So now he's getting ready to come down with great wrath. He's using his internet, just the lowest internet, but he's using the power that was bestowed upon him to what? Start to tighten in that net, that World Wide Web, to what they're going to allow to be seen and what they won't be allowed to be seen. Because the same thing is acceptable on this platform and acceptable on that platform. But it's the same thing, okay? Make that make sense. It says, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea,
For the devil is come down unto you. Why? Having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. Right? The prophecies are tearing his ass apart, man. The servants, the prophets of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai are coming out and exposing this man. All right? So he's using this AI, his sentinels, and everything else he got, all right, to combat this truth. So he believes that, all right? But he's just fulfilling his portion, all right? The famine of the word. Amos 8 and 11. Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh, right? So this truth is going to be taken off the internet. The servants are going to be removed from off the streets because it's going to be too dangerous. And then the devil is going to open up with that great wrath, all right? And you've been warned, okay? You've been warned. There's no excuse. You know, there's no cloak for your sins. No excuse. 1 Peter 5 and 8. We sit here and tell you constantly to what? Be sober, be vigilant, okay? Things are finna start to heat up, man, to the point where you can't get out. You just gonna become chop suey, man. It says, be sober, be vigilant. Why? Because your adversary, the devil, yes, that same one, all right, that's trying to suppress this truth, that's trying to put restrictions on it, that's going to bring forth the famine. Yes, that one. Says, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. So stay prayed up, man. All right? Because we coming into those times, man, where if you ain't got it, you ain't gonna get it. Okay? You're gonna be just one of the ones that this devouring lion take hold of and devour. All right? Because you can't do anything with this man. Okay? This is his kingdom. The Lord gave it to him. All right. He's the one that's supposed to be ruling when Yahweh Shai shows up. All right. The so-called white man, Esau, the cracker Edomite. All right. He's the one that's supposed to be ruling when Yahweh Shai shows up to take out of power, out of rulership. So, of course, he's going to do whatever he can. All right. But see, we've been warning you and telling you of these things. Get right with the Lord while you can, man. These warnings, hey, they're going to continue to go less and less till there's no more warning at all. We're blowing the trumpet, but soon you won't hear the trumpet anymore because the servants, the prophets won't be here to blow it. All right? But as we can, we're blowing that trumpet, sounding the horn in Zion, but soon you're going to see what happened to the word. Why I don't see the black Hebrew Israelite videos up on the internet no more? Why don't I see them out there on the streets yelling and screaming? Hey, you should be nervous when you don't see that. You should be scared when you don't see that anymore, because that's time. It's showtime. That's your last line of defense. When you don't see videos on the internet no more, when you don't see the prophets out there on the highway and hedges and the trenches no more, that's it, man. You already know what time it is then. All right? You already know. All right? So guess what? We finishing it up and wrapping up, and we coming into that time, man. So be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. All right? So with that being said, pray someone was edified through this lesson, and until the next time, if it be the Lord's will, stay strong, stay in the faith. We almost home. Shalom. Peace.